Fright Krewe is the newest DreamWorks animated series on Hulu. Hulu original, but is also on Peacock. This show follows a group of teenagers from high school who accidentally release an evil demon upon the world in New Orleans and are given special powers by the Loa, these spiritual beings who grant them powers to combat this demonic evil. Now, this is a horror kids show. It's mainly horror. Has comedic bits in it. It's a very entertaining show horror wise for children. It's something that I actually love to see. When I was younger, I didn't really love horror, but I loved it when there was kids shows that kind of focus on horror, so I can dip my toes into it. Something like Goosebumps is something that I liked when I was younger, and this is definitely a show. Again, if I was a young kid, that I really would enjoy. It has great aspects of horror in it. There's a lot of dark elements. There's a lot of monsters and ghouls and ghosts and whatnot that can really scare someone at a younger age, and it's actually a lot of fun. This show, like I said, follows these five teenagers. Soleil being the main character. She's a character who loves horror. She embodies it. She just loves every aspect about it. And she unwittingly unleashes this evil demon, as I said, because she's a blood relative of the person who trapped it. And she is joined by these other high schoolers who aren't necessarily her friends. And, they're a bunch of misfits who don't get along in the beginning and have to come together to stop this evil. But they also have to contend with a lot of other ghoulish evil things. There's rougarous that are kind of like werewolves, there's vampires, there's ghosts, there's evil pixie sprite type things, all kinds of things. And it kind of reminds me of the show Buffy. It's this group of high schoolers who deal with all sorts of demons and whatnot, and also their daily high school life. Even though there's not a huge focus on high school, it's still a little bit there. It's a lot of fun. DreamWorks has done a lot of animated series, a lot based off their movies, but a lot of original ones as well. Like, I love Kipo and the Wonder Beast and Troll Hunters, and this is another one that I absolutely really enjoyed. It's a very fun show. Like I said, it has all these horror elements. If you're younger, they'll definitely scare you, but I found it entertaining. I love the world building in this show. There's a lot that they incorporated as it goes on, and it really makes for an enjoyable, interesting show. Like I said, I really like how they just start incorporating all these things. It really feels like this cool, complete, fleshed out world. Overall, it's a lot of fun. I love the characters. There's good emotional moments with these characters, frights. The stakes often, escalate, and I think it's a really smart written show for the most part. A lot of shows like this, in certain situations, they would have, and again, I don't want to get spoilers, so it's a little vague, but they would do things that, why are these characters doing this, or why aren't they talking to adults or something like that? And these characters actually do, which I really like, because it doesn't make any sense for these kids just to be like, well, we gotta, do this all on our own. But it makes sense for them to at least communicate it to some older people that they might trust, even if it's not necessarily parents. So I like that aspect. Like I said, it's smartly written. It's not one of those shows where it's just like, it makes these characters be like, well, we have to keep it to ourselves to amp up the drama and everything like that. So I really enjoyed that about the show. Like I said, it's a lot of fun. I do recommend it. For me, this is a 9 out of 10. Yeah, a 9 out of 10. I wanted to say 8, but it's definitely a 9 out of 10. It's a very enjoyable first season. It ends not really in a cliffhanger. It doesn't. Well, I guess you can call it a little bit of a cliffhanger. Setting up the second season, which I really hope it gets, and I'm really looking forward to. If you like, horror shows or horror animated shows, I think this is definitely a show for you. Or if you just like things with supernatural creatures and everything like that, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. So, 9 out of 10, go check it out. Now I'm going to talk spoilers really quick. I'm not going to spoil a lot. I'm just going to broad things. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, spoilers. So, the show again follows Soleil, who is given the powers to control fire, wind, and water. At least that's where we're told. She might be able to control more later. And then there's Missy, who gets the power of strength. She has she's really powerful and strong. And she also gets turned into a rougarous because she gets really badly hurt in the second or third episode, and the only way they can save her life is that she has to become a rougarous. And then there's Pat, who's the heart and soul of the team. He has the lamest powers, in my opinion. I think it's the okay power, but it's not very useful in the show so far. He has the power of communication, so you can talk to demons and creatures and animals and bugs and stuff like that. Not the most useful power, but he does help out the team. But like I said, he's the heart and soul, so that's kind of why he's there. Really cool, nice character. Then there's Stanley. He's the kind of dumb jock character of the team. Um, he has the power of knowledge. He can touch things and know everything about him or a lot of things about it. It comes in handy throughout the show. I thought it was going to be not very useful, but he can touch like locks and it can tell him the combination, so that's actually kind of cool. And then there's Maybe. He's the quiet, shy-ish type kid who, kind of is in the background most of the time, at least in his life, and people don't usually notice him. And he gets the power to travel into the spirit world, which kind of makes him invisible, and he can walk around and spy on people and just move around without people noticing him. And also gives him the benefit of seeing ghosts that he can talk to and everything. Very cool power. I really like it. So, like I said in the beginning, they come together. They're not really friends. They get detention, and their detention is to clean up a graveyard, which really awkward and weird. They even mention it. They're like, "Is this a normal thing here?" So they have to go clean a graveyard, and Soleil she gets dared to go into this mausoleum crypt thing, and she accidentally cuts herself, and her blood frees the demon. Like I said, she's related to the ancestor who trapped this demon. So they get these powers from these good spirit voodoo spirits, and they're tasked with defeating this evil demon person. And there's a lot of things that get in the way. At first, they don't really get along. Missy and Soleil used to be friends, but they broke up a long time ago because people change and they drift apart. And they're just from different parts of life and everything like that. And so they slowly come together as they decide that they need to defeat this evil, as they learn more about it, and they become a closer group and friends. And in the background, the mayor, he's kind of like the secondary bad guy. He's kind of being manipulated by the evil demon, or at least it kind of seems like that. But the mayor is definitely the bad guy of this first season, and he's trying to start this war against the vampires and the rougarous. Because he knows, or he knew him, or he knows about them. And 7 years ago, from the story, him and his wife were in a car accident because he ran a red light. And then a vampire and a rougarous were there, and he asked if they can turn his wife to save her life, but they didn't want to do it because they were afraid that their secret would come out because there were so many civilians around. So they said sorry, and his wife ended up dying. So he kind of gets obsessed with killing all of them because he hates them and blames them for his wife dying, which he's the one who ran the red light. Like, he's the jerk. It's like, dude, you did it. Why are you trying to kill all these people because they weren't willing to save her? And I kind of get it. I get being upset, but not to the level where he wants to exterminate them all. Anyway, like I said, that's kind of like the big thing that leads to the big finale, which is the war between the rougarous and the vampires. And the mayor, he sets up this trap to trap them all there, to kill them all, so sunlight will come and kill all the vampires. And when they catch on fire, their fires will catch these flowers. They'll set these flowers on fire, which are very poisonous to the rougarous. So that's his kind of main plan. So as the series goes on, the kids learn about who the demon is and that the mayor's working with him. And they slowly work up, to this big battle scene. Like I said, I don't want to give too much away. Definitely go check it out. Anyway, Soleil ends up going with the mayor willingly because the demon guy kind of shows her this future where all her friends and everything are going to die. So she's like, there's nothing we can do. We need to just surrender and go. So her friends will stay behind at the mayor's house. So she ends up going at the trap, and the mayor traps the evil demon guy to drain his powers for this trap. And like I said, the vampires and the rougarous, they all show up to fight in this big battle. And it turns out that the mayor, like I said, he's the one who's angry at them for not saving his wife. So he's been slowly trying to set up this war for a long time. He killed the head rougarous guy, and then he blamed it on the vampires. And now, with the demon's help, he was able to create this false memory to show to the rougarous and vampires to be like, see, this vampire killed your leaders, so you guys should probably fight. So it does lead to this war at this abandoned fairground, and eventually the kids show up and they show them the truth that they didn't, the vampires didn't kill the rougarous, and it kind of stops the war. But they end up being trapped in this trap by the mayor, and they're gonna die. And it's kind of like a really dramatic, sad moment. They're like, "What are we gonna do?" Because one of the kids' brothers became a vampire, and he got trapped there. Like I said, Missy, one of the main character kids, she's a rougarous, so she also gets trapped in this trap. So it ends up being that the only way they can undo the trap is killing the mayor. So, oh man, now I'm forgetting her name. Sylvia, not Sylvia. Anyway, the main character, she ends up turning the mayor into a vampire, which doesn't kill him, but does kill him to undo the trap to free the vampires and the rougarous. But the mayor gets mad because he hates these monsters and everything like that. And then the demon guy gets up from the trap as well, and he's like, "It was just a test. I wanted to see if you were able to do what you needed to do, and you went above and beyond. You didn't kill the mayor like you probably should have, but you turned him into something that he really hated, and that's something which was a lot more than I believed you can do to." Man, why am I blanking on her name? I say their name several times. It's not Sicily. Anyway, the mayor gets angry at the demon guy, and he runs at him, and daylight comes, and he ends up exploding. Like, I thought he was just going to get set on fire, but he explodes. And everyone ends up surviving at the end, and there's a post-credit scene where the demon guy summons another demon, and it kind of sets up the second season. The kids are finally united as a team. The vampires and the rougarous are on their side and everything, but now they're gonna have all this other evil to contend with. So, very good show. Like I said, I skipped a lot. It's 10 episodes long. It's on Hulu and I believe Peacock. Definitely go check it out. I really enjoyed it. I love the mythology. I love seeing all these supernatural creatures and everything. It was a lot of fun with good horror elements, especially, this is October, the Halloween season. So it's a good show to watch right now. Definitely go check it out. Like I said, 9 out of 10. Lots of fun, great characters, great story. Like, I really enjoyed it, and I'm probably going to definitely watch it again later. So if you watched the show, what did you think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.